The measurement of time is one of the greatest achievements of human civilization. It is something we rely on every day without questioning how it came to be. From the rising and setting of the sun to the ticking of a digital clock, everything around us follows a system that was developed thousands of years ago. But who decided that a day should be 24 hours long? Why not 30 or 50? And how did early humans come up with the idea of measuring time? The story of time measurement goes back to ancient civilizations that observed the movements of celestial bodies. Early humans noticed that the sun, moon, and stars moved in predictable patterns. They used these natural cycles to divide their activities: hunting, farming, resting, and gathering. Before the invention of mechanical clocks, people used shadows, water, and even burning candles to track time. One of the first civilizations to develop a formal system of timekeeping was ancient Egypt. Around 3500 BCE, Egyptians built massive obelisks, tall stone structures that cast shadows based on the position of the sun. This was one of the earliest forms of sundials, and it helped them divide the day into sections. At first, there was no fixed number of hours. Days were just split into morning, noon, and evening. As societies became more advanced, the need for a structured way of measuring time grew. The Egyptians later divided the day into 24 parts. They did this by splitting daytime and nighttime into 12 equal segments, creating a total of 24 hours. But why 12? The answer lies in how ancient people counted. Many early cultures used their fingers to count, and if you count the segments of your fingers, excluding the thumb, you get 12 on one hand. This may have influenced the decision. Meanwhile, in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, the Babylonians were developing their own timekeeping system. They were skilled astronomers and mathematicians and used a base 60 system for calculations. This is why today we have 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute. Their influence merged with Egyptian ideas, and the 24-hour day became a widely accepted standard. But at that time, timekeeping was not as precise as it is today. The lengths of hours changed depending on the season because daytime and nighttime were not always equal. The Greeks later refined the system. A famous Greek astronomer, Hipparchus, around 191–20 BCE, introduced the idea of dividing the day into equal length hours, making each hour consistent throughout the year. This was a major step toward modern timekeeping. As technology improved, new ways of measuring time emerged. The Romans used water clocks, which allowed them to measure time even at night when sundials were useless. These water clocks had markings that divided the night into 12 parts, reinforcing the 24-hour system. By the Middle Ages, mechanical clocks started to appear in Europe. These clocks standardized the idea of fixed-length hours. Cities began installing large public clocks, and people started to organize their daily lives around them. By the 14th century, the 24-hour system had become common across much of the world. One question remains: why didn't anyone change the system to 30 or more hours? The answer is simple: by the time mechanical clocks and scientific calculations were improving, the 24-hour system had already been in use for thousands of years. Changing it would have been too complicated. More importantly, human sleep cycles and daily activities naturally fit into a 24-hour pattern, which matches the Earth's rotation. In modern times, our understanding of time has become even more precise. Atomic clocks, which measure time using the vibrations of atoms, are accurate to the billionth of a second. But despite all technological advancements, the 24-hour system remains unchanged. It has been passed down through civilizations for over 5,000 years and is now so deeply rooted in human culture that we cannot imagine a different way of measuring time. Time, once measured by shadows and water, is now controlled by satellites and digital devices. But the basic structure of a 24-hour day remains exactly as the ancient Egyptians and Babylonians first established it. Whether in ancient temples or modern space stations, the way we track time today is a direct connection to humanity's earliest attempts to understand the universe.